A Stolen Home by Charlie McNally. The sun shone, but chaos screamed. I was frozen in shock as my home crumbled all around me. Finally, I plucked up the courage and ran. I ran far from my home, the Borneo forest. I ran for days. My stomach growled, but I could only ignore it. Eventually, I knew I was far enough. The problem was, a roar sounded. I looked at my stomach. It wasn't me. Next to me, on one side, was a giant lump of metal. On the other was a small child. I felt scared. The only people I'd ever seen took my home. "Mummy, it's a monkey. Can we keep it?" shouted the girl. I started running with fear pulsating through my veins. A confused woman stepped onto the driveway. Then, at last, I found a quiet place. I jumped onto a wall made of bricks and fell asleep because of all the running. The wall was hard like the trees at home, but as cold as ice. I don't know how long I slept, but when I woke up, the sky was turning from orange to blue. Suddenly, a small boy with brown hair walked around a corner. Our eyes met. He looked left then right and crossed the road. Slowly, he approached me, being careful not to frighten me. I didn't move, partly because I was scared, but also because his eyes were kind like my mother's. He placed a green backpack a bit bigger than me on the floor. "What are you doing in Bush City, little monkey?" the boy asked. His voice was soft and gentle, showing me he wouldn't hurt me. So I acted out the devastation that was happening in my home, and luckily he understood me. I know this because his smile turned upside down, his eyebrows furrowed, his eyes filled like puddles, and his teeth snapped together. He was angry, but also sad. "I'll help you," he stated. "Anyway, you must be hungry. I was going to save this as a snack, but this is more important." My feet flew off the wall in a jump for joy as the boy whipped a perfect, juicy, ripe yellow banana out of his bag. You wouldn't think it'd been picked a day or two before. "Oh, my name's Charlie, and I'll call you Dusty, but if we hang around here for 5 more minutes, I'll be late for school, so hop in," Charlie said, holding out his bag, which reminded me of a bed of fresh vine leaves. Luckily, I fitted in the bag just right, and Charlie started jogging towards a tall building with the words Bush Primary School printed on a sign. Then the bag was opened, and I saw we were in a long, narrow space with more small people walking up and down it, then disappearing into wooden rectangles. "I'll get you some water, and at lunch I'll get you a piece of fruit. Be good, Dusty," whispered Charlie hurriedly. Then I watched him fetch water in a cup and put it in a net at the side of his bag for me to drink. After that, he walked into a room with the words "Yes, 6" printed on the door, saying good morning to a woman on his way in. Later on, he gave me a slice of orange, one of my favourites. The orange made me think of home, which made my heart sad. Why were these machines taking everything we had away? I was still tired. My tummy was full and my heart sad. I drifted off to sleep and awoke to the bag being opened. "Come on, you can get out now, we're in my room," Charlie murmured. He was already flicking through the CCTV footage from the evening before. Don't worry, everyone's allowed to see it. Until he found a video of me running through a gate. "Dusty, yesterday was the 7th of October 2021. You came from the south entrance. The nearest forest is Borneo Forest. Wow, that's recently been cut down. It's a week away on foot. You must have come from there. It was cut down by the palm oil company based in Stream City, our capital city, on the 1st of October. We are going to make them stop cutting down forests and try to persuade people to stop using palm oil so no forests are cut down and find you a new home, explained Charlie excitedly. Wow, this Charlie boy was great. He was going to solve all my problems. Now this is what I call fun. Charlie persuaded his mum to take us to Stream City that Saturday and told her everything. On the train, I ate fruit under the table. You know, it took ages to get there. We finally got to the office building where a man said, "No." What would I do without palm oil? Nothing. So my answer is no. Good day, is what he actually said. Charlie's angry face came back and we went on the train journey back to his home. Thankfully, Charlie had made a plan B. He gathered his friends Elijah, who is awesome at filming stuff, Lila, Evan and Minna. He told them his plan and they got to work straight away. Charlie, Lila, Evan and Minna started protesting and inspiring people around the world to help too and stop using palm oil. How did it get around the world? I hear you ask. Well, Elijah put videos of it on a thing called YouTube and the videos went viral. I always thought viruses made you ill, but Charlie explained it was a different type of viral. People were horrified at the destruction and devastation that was being caused. Most people stopped using palm oil. Companies stopped cutting down trees for palm oil. Also, if a tree was cut down, for example because of making paper, it will get replaced with other trees being planted. What happened to me? My home was gone, but Charlie had found a new home for me, Stream City Forest. It's a good forest. All the animals are nice. Another good thing is Charlie comes to visit every Saturday and sometimes brings his friends. Life is good, but I do miss my home, my family and friends, which the machine stole from me. I am so grateful that due to Charlie and his friends, no other monkey will go through this. Thank you for listening to my story. Remember, you can make a difference too. It doesn't matter what you can or can't do. Everyone can help. Let's all try to make a difference for our future and that of our planet.